live here. Hello, everybody. We look forward to having Molby come on, and we got his script here. Great American Vigilante. His
That's a rewrite for him, isn't it?
Is it? I don't remember.
I thought he brought that on once before.
Okay. I mean, well, I'm going to wait for him to be here.
That's fine.
To go over his script, and you know, I put my potential movie script in the Discord, and it cracks me up that like Molby came back and would be like, you know what, you could cut this by like 40 pages. I'm like, you say that? Gee, really? Okay.
Okay. Maybe I should read that script. I need to practice my breakdowns.
Sure.
Yeah, I'll download that. There we go. That keep me out of trouble for a week.
Yeah. I mean, and that one, you know, like I'm going through like the movie producer thing, and I didn't want to approach it as like, okay, we're gonna make my movie. I just wanted to be completely open to whatever. Like, let's make a movie, and you know, let's see what you guys got. And after, you know, like there's a quote from Dan O'Bannon that I eventually just shared with the people, which is like, producers think that screenwriting couldn't be all that damn hard if a damn screenwriter can do it. And that is absolutely how they approach it. You know, it's just like, this is the movie, here's the concept. I mean, this guy can write it. I gave it to my wife. She wrote it. Here it is. I'm like, no.
Right. And that's why during every WGA writer's strike, the movies that come out are all shit.
Yeah.
More than usual.
And you know, and like whenever I'm talking with people, they'll start quoting me like, well, here's like WGA rates to write. I'm like, you're not a writer. You're not. Stop.
Yeah,
like,
you have to be in the WGA.
Yeah, you
in
have
order
to WGA
to
to get that. And I have a feeling if I went to someone who was in the WGA and paid them that amount of money, I would get something that was better than what you handed me. You know, this idea is, maybe call me crazy, but so yeah. Eventually came down to, well, do you have anything? I'm like, yes, I do. You know, and it was one of those things, like, if you're going to be in the game, you need to get like you need to have a low budget, low location script handy, because yeah, just for that situation, like here, boom, there it is. Yeah. And I'm glad you seem to like it, John. I worked very hard on that twist. I wanted to, you know, I played it straight with the audience. I gave away, you know, some hints, but
oh yeah.
Now I'm very excited to read this. Yeah. And also, I've been reminded that my Kung Fu Ghostbusters pilot is still something I can bring over here to workshop.
There you go. Yeah. All right. Well, Larry's working out his microphone issues. Let's talk about Harpies. So, John, what's up with Harpies?
Harpies is the Spirit of the Dragon, Angel of Darkness crossover story.
Oh, okay. All right. Very good.
This be competing with Molby's Great American crossover story.
Probably. This is a story that's been in the works for about 15 years. I've been wanting to do this.
Wow. Okay.
I just never really had an idea on how I was going to approach it.
Okay.
And I don't know if you remember from the writers group, but I brought in a script that was a World War II script where in the opening scene, a character jumps out of a helicopter without an airplane. And you correctly pointed out that they didn't have helicopters during World War II.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember that. But anyway, that is this story.
Well, you know, the writers group, everyone kind of had their little zone. And at the time, I was writing White Lily. So my zone was World War II. And so World War II script came out. I'm like, well.
And then you're like,
this is my area.
Like, this is my area, and there's no helicopters. They do not exist.
No helicopters.
And I was like, but, you know, my sexy, badass female chick just jumped out of it, and it looked really, really cool when she jumps out and it blows up from some AA gun. And anyway, so, so I've been working different angles on this storyline, and I think I've got something, though I might end up rewriting some of the opening because I'm not 100% happy with it, but I wanted to at least present it, see how it goes, see how y'all...
Is this the same version that you shared with me a couple weeks ago?
Yes, it is.
Awesome.
Should I not have presented this?
No. It's good. Just we were talking about this before, and so me knowing that there's been no changes is also good.
No, I have not made any major changes. I might have tweaked the dialogue a little bit because I wasn't really happy with the dialogue between the villains in the airship. But I haven't done anything major on it, though.
Okay. All right. I suppose I'll narrate.
Okay.
I'm just going to volunteer and get it over with. I'm going to narrate everything because this is what I get for not breaking shit in.
Very well.
Are there any particular roles that you want to give to Preston, John?
No, he could start with Aaron, and we'll go from there.
There we go.
Cool beans. Let me know if you want me to do any dialogue too. It might come out.
Most of this is all going to be two people. There might be a few scattered lines here and there, but like this is going to mostly be Aaron monologuing, and then there's going to be two people on a battleship, and then two people on the airship. So.
All right. Interior, British Army classroom, day. 9 students, 5 male wearing dress shirts, ties, and slacks, and 4 female students wearing simple dresses sit scattered at various desks in a classroom set up for 24 students. Aaron Rice, wearing a British First Lieutenant's uniform, designated by the 2 stacking order of Bath emblems on her shoulder, draws the nuclear Hecate emblem on the blackboard. Afterwards, she turns to address the students.
Who here has heard of the Hecate stone?
The students return blank expressions. Aaron holds up a black and white photo of herself in full hazmat gear, holding the glowing crystal from Spirit of the Dragon, issue 3, page 2.
This Hecate stone was recovered during a raid by a joint U.S.-British intelligence operation against the Orion Industries Los Angeles office. This is me holding up a 2-kilogram piece of rock of unknown origin.
Of origin unknown, Preston. Script as written.
You're right. Sorry. Oh.
Aaron steps from behind the podium. Oh, there's a podium. Holding some papers.
A small sliver, estimated to be no more than 2 grams, resulted in the explosion in the Los Angeles port, killing Orion's lead researcher on the project.
Aaron proceeds to hand out papers to her students.
You are the best and brightest of the Allied forces. The purpose of this class is to study the Hecate stone and the energy that emanates from it.
Aaron returns to the podium.
This is the secret to the Nazis' new weapon and fleet systems, and if we are to stand a chance against them, we must understand it.
Exterior, Atlantic Ocean, dawn. The HMS Sir Arthur Cumming cuts through the ocean waves of the Atlantic Ocean as the sun peaks across the horizon. Interior, HMS Sir Arthur Cumming, bridge, dawn. A blip alters a radar.
That's what he said. Yeah.
A blip alters a radar technician with an incoming underwater object. See, script is written. It's hard. It's hard. I'm actually really good at it, but it's hard. You want me to be the technician? Captain, we have incoming, barring 4 knots, 7 o'clock.
At that pace, it is merely a fish.
Then that is one hell of a huge fish, sir. Interior, SMS Ernest von Hepner, lounge, day. Joseph Mueller, wearing his black SS garb, sits in a posh chair, staring at a silver pocket watch, anticipating every tick. Across from him sits the matriarch on a comfortable couch, an African woman in her 60s wearing a traditional sarong wrapped around her body.
I must say, I was intrigued when I received your telegram.
We are not the first to throw off the chains of colonizers, and I suspect we shan't be the last.
For someone with such a hatred for the British Empire, your English is quite good.
Aye, it is for the man seeking to eradicate them, as is.
Yep, that's what he wrote.
Yeah.
Mueller chuckles.
I am a seeker of truth, a man of science and magic. As fate would have it, one side of this conflict allows me to grow this knowledge, while another does not.
And with this knowledge, you seek to destroy the balance.
Heavens, no, the balance cannot be destroyed. That is why we call it the balance. Nay, what we seek is to ensure our place when the inevitable occurs.
The matriarch rises from the couch, looking toward the cabin door, leaning outside. Sure. Reds and oranges from the rising sun shine inside the lounge.
The sun has awoken. Time to begin our demonstration.
Mueller looks down at this watch.
So it is.
This one.
This watch. Putting away his watch, Mueller stands, retrieving a spyglass from the side table. As Mueller and the matriarch walks towards the cabin door, subject verb agreement, 6 young African witches dressed in Zulu garb, branding jewelry of beads and bones strung together, follow behind them. Where did they come from? Interior, HMS Sir Arthur Cumming, Bridge Day. The technician's radar now shows several dozen blips on the radar. The captain stands behind the radio tech, staring at the screen over his shoulder.
What the devil? They're heading right for us?
Exterior, HMS Sir Arthur Cumming, conning tower, upper deck, day. The captain steps outside the door with his binoculars, stares down at the water. The waves appear agitated, churning, crashing against the side of the battleship. Impact in 3, 2, 1. The captain continues staring.
Negative visual. Status report.
Bridge. The technician stares at his display as the dots appear to collide with the ship. I don't understand. Interior, HMS Sir Arthur Cumming, engine room, day. 2 mechanics in greasy overalls stare. Come on, John. At the exterior wall of the ship as several thump, thump, thump can be heard as if a baseball was being thrown against the metal wall. Are we being rammed?
Better call this in, Charlie.
Exterior, SMS Ernst von Heppner, deck, day. Mueller steps out of the lounge onto the deck of the SMS Ernst von Heppner, massive airship hovering 6,000 meters above the Atlantic Ocean.
That's a long way.
6 kilometers? That seems like a lot.
That's a bunch.
The large deck provides plenty of room for dozens of people wrapping around the outside of the deck all the way to the bridge, providing 360 degrees of view in all directions. The matriarch leads Mueller to the edge. Raising his spyglass, Mueller scans the ocean waters below.
And now we begin. Oh, I'm sorry, that's...
And now we begin.
Mueller's point of view, blood appears to be pooling around the HMS Sir Arthur Cumming as if the ship were bleeding.
Uh-oh.
Exterior, HMS Sir Arthur Cumming, conning tower, upper deck, day. The captain looks up from his binoculars, mystified.
What the?
Exterior, HMS Sir Arthur Cumming, underwater. Blood pools in the water around the hull of the ship. Suddenly, a zombie shark appears, crashing headfirst into the side, crushing its own head in a kamikaze attack. Its blood, it's wrong, explodes further, polluting the water. Several other zombie sharks follow suit, all crashing to the side in a suicidal attempt to bloody the water.
Okay.
Exterior, SMS Ernst von Heppner, deck, day. The 5 witches stand along the railing, raising their arms outward and over the water, chanting. The air blow wildly through their hair and skirts, their eyes glazed over. The matriarch stands between the row of witches and Mueller.
Take from them their power. Bring them to their knees.
Underwater, the swarm of zombie sharks circle around the propellers under the massive King George V class battlecruiser. Similar to before, they rammed the propellers, mouths open as if to bite it off. A few are shredded by the blades, but another gets lucky, biting down and breaking one of the fins of the blades off. Engine room.
That shark has quite a powerful jaw.
Yeah, and quite magical teeth. The engine turbines seize. A bolt flies off as a jet stream of water shoots into the engine room. Airship deck. Mueller looks up from his spyglass, gleeful like a child.
I am glad to see you are pleased.
To crush your enemies and see them driven before you. That is good.
Yeah, the notes come later, Preston.
We have only just begun.
He already gave that literal line 2 pages ago, and I rolled my eyes at that.
All right.
HMS Sir Arthur Cumming. The massive ship begins to tilt, sinking into the blood-soaked water. Naval men races to the railing with Lee Enfield rifles. As the ship sinks deeper, they can now see the zombie sharks pummeling the side of the ship. Taking aim, they fire at the zombie sharks. Suddenly, a zombie shark leaps from the water onto the deck, biting one of the seamen. The other turns on the zombie shark, shooting.
I mean, it is the Sir Arthur Cumming, so.
Indeed. Just full of semen.
It is full of semen. Yeah.
Not for long, though. It is the Sir Arthur Cumming.
Yeah.
The zombie shark rises on the deck. Hold on, did I miss one? Suddenly, a zombie shark leaps from the water onto the deck, biting one of the seamen. Yeah, okay. The zombie shark rises on the deck, its tail hitting one, knocking it back into the water. Come on, John.
Its pronouns were it.
Another zombie shark leaps from the water, grabbing other seamen, biting him in two. Airship deck. The matriarch throws some bones onto the deck of the airship, dropping to her knees. Have fun, John.
Tenza wapaka wanzi waka samaka pohope zako enzawaka inzi rangu mopepe.
She throws her arms into the air, her eyes glazing over, similar to her acolytes. Bridge. The captain barks into a radio, which echoes throughout the ship.
Man your battle stations. We are under attack.
A massive blip appears on the radar.
Captain, we have incoming, and this one's huge.
Atlantic Ocean. Several kilometers from the HMS Sir Arthur Cumming, a massive zombie shark fin rises from below the surface. HMS Sir Arthur Cumming gun turret. A seaman mans a gun turret, opens fire at the massive zombie shark fin. Massive 50 caliber anti-air rounds penetrate the water towards the approaching bogie. Atlantic Ocean. As it continues its approach, the zombie megalodon crowns above the surface of the water. Opening its massive jaws, it is so large it blocks the sun, casting the entire ship in shadow. Sure. HMS Sir Arthur Cumming, gun turret. The seaman yells as he continues shooting at the zombie megalodon to no effect. Oh, shit! Atlantic Ocean. The zombie megalodon chomps down on the side of the HMS Sir Arthur Cumming, massive jaws taking a bite clean out of the side of the ship. That's some like Looney Tunes shit. Airship deck.
It's zombie sharks when you.
The matriarch's eyes return to normal as she smiles a devilishly evil grin. Atlantic Ocean. The zombie megalodon disappears under the water as the massive King George V battlecruiser sinks. As the British seamen jump overboard, they are taken by the zombie shark, who are more interested in tearing them apart than actually eating them. Exterior, SMS Ernst von Heppner, day. As the matriarch rises to her feet, the 5 witches return to her. Mueller claps, grinning from ear to ear.
An excellent display of power. I must learn all I can of. Oh, an excellent display. I must learn all I can of this power.
Zola, my most trust acolyte, shall remain in my stead.
Yes, speaking of your acolytes, weren't there originally 6?
Interior, SMS Ernst von Heppner, office, day. Jezidra, one of the 6 witches seen previously, while her dress remains mostly the same, a small child's skull hangs off her hip opposite a wide slit in her skirt that goes up to the waistline. Come on, spelling! Despite her youthful
This
appearance,
is full of homonym errors.
so many homonym errors.
Yeah.
Her hair is bleached white. She stands by the wall. A painting which once concealed a wall safe now sits on the floor. Jezidra raises her hand, palm open to the safe dial.
Go, John.
Roku.
Shadowy tendrils of chaos magic extend from her palm, surrounding the combination dial and handle. Jezidra closes her hand into a fist. The shadowy tendrils squeeze behind the safe combination. Jezidra pulls her hand back, and the shadowy tendrils rip the safe door clean off. Approaching the safe, she examines its contents. Inside safe, a stack of mixed cash in German marks and British pounds, pistol with 2 extra clips, a notebook with the nuclear Hecate emblem embossed on the cover. Office. Jezidra removes the notebook, flips it open. A page on the left has some scientific calculations. To the right is a photograph taped to the page. The photo shows a massive Hecate stone half buried in dirt and surrounded by Nazi scientists in hazmat gear who stand barely 1/3 the size of the visible portion of the stone.
How do we know that they're Nazi scientists? Larry, why don't you be Jessica?
Well, John's already Jezidra.
Sure.
But Larry's here now.
That's a good point.
Right here.
Oh, by the gods. The door falls. Oh, sorry.
No.
No,
Door
okay.
falls open as Mueller and the matriarch enter.
Jezidra!
Me oh me.
Suddenly, a small pocket dimension opens, absorbing the notebook.
Raku!
The matriarch raises her palm towards Jezidra, and a shadowy arm and hand of chaos energy extends outward, subject to her agreement, grabbing Jezidra by the neck and shoving her against the glass window, cracking it. Blood splatters from the back of her head across the glass. Mueller turns to the matriarch.
What is the meaning of this?
Zola steps between her and Mueller, bowing.
My sincerest apologies for the treachery of our newest acolyte. We shall be sure she is dealt with harshly.
I invited you into my circle because I thought we could come to some mutually beneficial arrangement.
Zola further prostrates herself before Mueller.
I beg you, please reconsider. State the terms you find pleasing, and I shall do them.
Mueller eyes the young woman kneeling before him. He glances to the matriarch, whose, come on, spelling, whose spell.
Spelled correctly.
No, it's
All
not.
of these words are spelled correctly.
F-E. They are all words that are spelled correctly. They are still not the words you would tell. They are the wrong words.
That's why I dropped out of college.
Keeps Jezidra pinned to the glass wall, shocking.
I must know by whose authority she acts. They must not receive my notebook.
Zola!
Zola rises to her feet, walks towards Jezidra as the black hand of chaos energy strangles her.
Open the pocket.
Never. Cough. You'll have to kill me. Cough. Every delay in obtaining a new Hecate stone. Cough. Saves another life.
The matriarch closes her fist, intensifying the strangulation.
So now Jezidra just finished creating a zombie apocalypse, right?
She also stopped the zombie apocalypse
Okay.
that she started.
All right, fair enough. Okay. I'm glad she's very concerned. with saving lives. That's
I mean,
awesome.
she boldly cleaned up her own mess.
She did. Okay, well, we have zombie sharks and battleships and World War II and airships and magic and sexy witches and the return of Jezidru and Nazi scientists. I mean, you gave us a lot of stuff. It certainly wasn't dull. There was a fair amount of action. In fact, I would say it was all action. Hooray for action. Very actiony, open, as we're introduced to a new world and its character.
I agree. There was quite a lot of action. I think you've delivered on every single checkbox for low budget B movie very early in the script. So you're doing that. You got magic and sharks and evil Nazis doing magic things with sharks. All Nazis are evil. I didn't need to. That was redundant.
Like, I don't know if you've heard much.
You were very quiet, Preston.
Larry, did you hear much of the story?
Not much, no. I was trying to figure out if it was John's or Mulby's at first when I came back in. So.
Well, it's definitely John.
Oh, okay. There was a lot of African stuff, so I wasn't sure. So.
I mean, the Angel of Darkness is set, but
Yeah.
now that you mention it, I think Sun Solar needs to make an appearance. I find myself wondering, what would Sun Solar do?
Preston, you keep dropping out.
Oh,
Yeah, maybe put the microphone in front of your face.
I mean, it's right here. It's not far.
Point your face at the microphone when you're talking. Then let's try
Okay,
that.
right, here we go. All right, let's see. Constructive.
Better.
Well, spelling.
Go back. What were you saying about Sun Solar?
Oh, I feel
That
like
all-
Sun
that-
Solar needs to make an appearance. You know, that way we can have like big crossover event. That would be cool. But all right, so constructives.
That's
I'm-
that's not an unrealistic possibility.
There you go. All right. You know, I have issues with Jezidru, like causing the zombie apocalypse to kill a bunch of people and then go, my bad, and kind of skating for it. So I'm having further some issues with her going like, I will sacrifice my life just on the chance that it will delay and thereby save some other lives of people I don't even know down the line. Like she has not really. You've never shown me a lot of remorse or even concern for lives that she doesn't directly know. So, all right, I take a little issue on that one. Let's see. I mean, you know, we blew up a ship. That was cool. I don't know. I mean, I guess it's fine. You know? I know we blew up a ship with zombie sharks. Why the hell not? I mean, the zombie sharks seem a little crazy. Like they're doing things that sharks shouldn't do. So I guess I would say I would like to see more magical effects, like make them more like demon sharks or something with like crazy glowing teeth. Because otherwise, I'm sitting going, okay, it's a zombie, but why is it biting through a propeller? Because those things are. I mean, you know, you want to talk about like from an engineering standpoint, the propeller is there to move the ship, so it has it's ready to receive a tremendous amount of force. And the idea that a shark's just going to go nibble the propeller off, I'm like, I don't know. I would like to see at least some graphic explanation for why these sharks are that freaking powerful. Then they make the ship leap, which is that's not a constructive note. This is cool. They make the ship leap. That's awesome. Okay. All right, go Dan.
Okay, so I don't really like the pacing here. You start with a very boring lecture about something that you don't render plot relevant in the action scene that ensues. just more information about it. So that whole bit with Aaron could basically be cut.
I'm not. I'm not opposed to doing that. That was
or
not in
like
the
or
original.
render it useful and be like, oh, the only person who knows about it is this other person who's over here. We need to go, blah blah blah, and then Jezreel is already doing it. Is how you make that work.
Okay.
There wasn't very much dialogue. It was a lot of monologuing. This is your first 10 pages, and that much exposition is real boring that early. So I'd wait to start bringing that up until like you've established Act 2. And instead just establish the situation. So that's either there's the Hecate stone and it's a big deal, or for some reason the Nazis are working with African wizards to defeat the British, which, it's fiction. I guess I'll buy that. But I mean, you have a perfectly good villain who doesn't need to be the African wizards, and he's the Nazi.
Yeah,
So that would be a way to establish what these relationships are like in the universe before you establish the plot so heavily. I think that would really raise the stakes. Like, we don't care about any of these characters, and you haven't made us yet. And then just like the Genghis Khan quote: "No one should ever say, and so it begins in anything ever." I've just started. Jesus Christ! Like. That line is a sign that you've done something terribly, terribly wrong as a writer, I feel, and like it's a big flag for me.
that's like the "as you know" line to you.
As you know is better.
As you know is dumb, because if you already know it, you don't need to say it. That's the problem with as you know.
You know demonstrates clear utility. And so it begins is even worse because you're telling people what they're already seeing instead of just, doing some poorly shoehorned exposition, which is sometimes necessary in genre fiction and fantastic drama. So as you know is actually better. I'm putting my foot down on that. So yeah, make it clear about the characters that you're putting in danger. And, make sure that whatever the intro is the thing that's tying into the main body of your story, right? This part of the screenplay needs to really grab the attention and establish the stakes, and you do that reasonably well, but you don't establish all of your log line by the end of the 10 pages. So that's a direction I think it might be worth going.
All right. Larry, you can encourage you to read over it and give your notes.
Sure.
And, all right, well, we have Molby's script.
But no Molby.
Are we going to read it anyways? I feel like torturing myself. I'll narrate it.
All right, let's do this.
Was it funny because of the self-torture aspect?
A little bit, yeah.
Look, I backed the Sans Solar book, so I'm going to get that overpriced PDF, and I'm going to read the heck out of it. And then I'm going to wonder where my sanity went. That was like $10 Canadian for a PDF.
Well, but you get White Lily.
That's true. It's actually a pretty good value.
Yeah,
I
did my best.
Unless you already have the White Lily PDF.
Sure.
Yeah.
Which I do.
My apologies.
All right.
I'm doing my best to provide value on the Molby tier.
You are. White Lily is providing a lot of value for that price point. No complaints there.
So, Danny, I don't know if you noticed, but I think Preston actually posted the PDF in the Discord.
I did.
PDF. I mean, I read it for something else, like when we were editing Lords of Iron and dealing with the art direction for that. It's fine. I mean, ultimately, I'm just going to have to. I have spent money to further torture myself by reading Sun Solar, although it may well be good. And if it's not, then I'm hoping it's at least completely batshit insane.
That's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping for that, especially because that'll be a good selling point when I'm at cons trying to sell the 25 books.
There you
Based
go.
on what I saw
Mulby
from it
did write it,
earlier.
but I mean, he also produced it, so who knows?
Yes, yes, he did.
The cover art's nice.
Well,
You-
the
that-
Burks cover's
yeah,
nice.
Burks covers.
Now I feel like I should look it up, but I feel like I don't know if I want my hot take on the recording. I'm doing it anyways.
Okay.
I'm looking it up right now. I'm so sorry. I'm just stopping the entire stream.
Yeah,
to go look it up.
okay. I mean, we're coming up in the last 24 hours. I'm going to send out my email tomorrow. Hey, everybody, 24 hours left. Come back. Sun Solar.
African superhero, Sun Solar. Why is the Kobe whatever? Okay.
I'm trying.
Oh, all right. That's a cover.
Yeah.
The A cover.
All right, as long as we're
I mean,
showing
at least the variant's doing its job and is being very much more appealing.
yeah.
Hopefully, it's not too overpriced.
I think $30 for a variant cover is, well, I typically sell mine for 25, except my Garveys I sell for 35. So,
All right. Well, I mean,
Hey, you're
Yeah,
fine.
yeah,
It's
but
okay.
by the way,
Yeah.
that free shipping. So
Yeah, that's true.
I do free shipping too.
25. Yeah.
Yeah, would that be free
I do
shipping to
20.
Canada?
I do 25
Yeah.
with free shipping too.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry that I didn't price this low enough for you. All right.
Oh no, it's fine. I got them for $10 a pop.
Yeah.
I just hope I can resell them.
Guys, we are ignoring the fact that this entire campaign is actually incredible value because for $30, what you actually get is a copy of White Lily,
Yeah. Well, no.
a PDF
No.
of White Lily, and also that.
There you go.
So, I mean, if you imagine it like you're paying a premium for White Lily to support
There you go.
someone associated with Pocket Jack's comics and Preston's brand, a lot of the stuff is really great value. White Lily's an awesome book.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Steven did a great job here. This is, he's only done 2 comic book covers so far, and they've both been for me. But I think he's pretty good. And I came up with this value package of the Sun Solar main retail cover plus Stephen Burke's cover of Palace One. I had a few of those lying around. And
How have I not seen that cover of Palace One?
Yeah,
It's nice.
it is. And you know, I've had people like I've sold 3 or 4 of those as prints, and that's pretty good considering my wall of prints. You know,
Yeah, people really like Spider-Man for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know why. So anyway, and yeah, we got this value here, $45, and you get Sun Solar retail cover #1 plus 4 limited edition. It's not bad. And for me, I'm getting rid of the old stock, and so far I've sold
4.
4.
So
And, you
the
know,
old stuff. Way to
Yeah,
go.
I'm gonna send out an email tomorrow specifically focusing on that. So hopefully I'll sell like 6 or 7.
See, I backed it. That's proof right there from Mulby.
I appreciate it.
I give him shit, but I backed his project.
There you go.
I am supportive.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that cover was very main and retail, and there you go.
There we go.
I hope in the future he uses the talent that's available in the Discord. He avails himself to that a bit more.
I am confident that's incredibly likely to happen.
Yeah.
Based on past experience.
Yeah. Because I feel like he would if he really was in the Discord more like talking to those
Preston,
artists.
let's just pause you there. Why don't we actually read the script? Because maybe that's actually been happening.
Yeah.
And then we'll make some judgments about the creator either to his face or after we've read
All right, very well.
this bullshit. Because I feel like it's unfair for our one viewer or whatever.
The Mulby probably is our one viewer.
Is Mulby our viewer?
Well,
At any rate,
we're gonna look at name of book issue.
Yeah. So name of book issue blank, page number 1.
And it's called
And
Great
number
American
1.
Vigilante.
Yeah, I'm not reading that. I'm reading what's on the page in front of me,
Okay, very well.
not the file. Not my job to read the file to impress him.
No,
Okay.
he did do this one. This one's about his American ninja person.
Oh,
Listen,
neat.
Remember the Warkov Stalin that's like
Yes.
Superman Stalin who jumps out of a
Oh, this
30s
is a
airplane?
rewrite?
Yes, this is a rewrite.
Cool.
All right,
let's
there
go.
we go. There we go.
All right.
All right.
Holy
Yeah.
crap.
Hold on.
43 pages.
Wow. Okay.
Oh my
We're
god.
not
We're
going that
not
far.
reading all of those pages.
Yeah.
I know, but still, like, wow. That's a big book. I mean,
I mean,
Yeah.
maybe it's actually like a 24-page book, or maybe this is one of his famous 8-page comics.
43 pages.
With 43 pages of art direction. I mean, he could become an Alan Moore.
It's true.
It's not going to happen, but I mean,
Oh god.
okay. So, panel 1, Vietnam, 1980, sunny day, 1930s Nazi fighter plane dives towards the ground below while on fire. That was all reasonably grammatical.
That's not bad.
So bad.
Panel 2, 1930s Nazi fighter plane is crashing towards the ground below, exploding. Sure. It's a multi-script, whatever. Panel 3, walking away from the Nazi fighter plane explosion, covered in fire, Warkov Stalin, an extremely muscular man resembling Joseph Stalin, with a Nazi eye patch on his right eye, thick mustaches, wearing a Joseph Stalin military uniform. Speaking of which, this reminds me, John, your
Yes.
classroom scene, those people are not dressed in suits. If it's a military school, they should be dressed in uniforms.
It's true.
Okay.
His left sleeve torn as he had a left grizzly bear arm, long military trench coat, smoking pipe.
Love it.
Well, let me. Since you interrupted, so what if they're military scientists? So would military scientists be in uniform, or would they be in? Because they're not just rank and file.
If you're doing it visually and there's not a big sign that says military school,
I mean,
just have them be in
so
uniform.
these
They call
are-
themselves.
I mean, these are Germans. I mean, specifically members of Nazis, right?
Sure.
No. He's talking about my exposition intro,
Okay.
where in the classroom where
Oh,
Aaron
yeah.
is speaking
Oh,
to the
yeah, okay.
students.
All right.
They're scientists. They're not in. I mean, they are.
Are they civilians?
Well, yeah, they could be.
Okay.
It would be
you would need to decide if they, pledged to, specifically be in the service, because that's like a different pledge. Where they're pledging to lay down life and limb to defend the U.S. Constitution.
They're not soldiers. They're scientists.
Okay. So if they didn't take that pledge, then they're not going to be in uniform, and they would be dressed as civilians.
Yeah.
They might have like an armband showing, like security clearance, or that they're, authorized to be there, or they're a member of a special task force. They might have something like that, but they're not going to be in military uniform.
Okay. So yeah, I was right. Yeah. No, they're not enlisted soldiers. They are.
It was unclear, and it just seemed like a way to solve a problem of scene setting with visual storytelling.
Well, that scene might end up getting cut anyway if it's not necessary.
All right. Panel
Anyway.
4, after we've introduced the Nazi fighter plane and Warkov fucking Stalin, the page keeps going.
There we go.
That's right. Keep it going.
Still, with fire upon his body, Warkov Stalin stands before, on his knees, eyes in a Japanese samurai dressed in royal Japanese swordsman uniform, with a Japanese straw hat, and behind him, all armed, and soldiers stand as they salute.
Oh, man.
I
All
love
right.
it. Yeah.
All right, Larry,
Now,
why don't you take
I want to punch someone in the face now. I'm pretty sure no one in Vietnam wants a Japanese anyone running their shit.
Well, this is the 1980s. Somehow all of these people survived.
Yeah.
All right, Larry, why don't you-
Now it's time for exposition.
why don't you be
Geisen. As always, Lord Stalin, an entrance befitting of such.
As astonishment. I've always, there's a space there, so it's as astonishment. I've always been one to ensure foresign of my arrival incites a reason to recall.
Well said, my lord. That was a lie.
This is very Starscream. I remember this. This is very much Megatron and Starscream.
It is.
The entire
Megatron and
conversation.
Starscream, like, used words that made sense in sentences.
But
Hold on.
it's
Are
just
you
like the
sure? I need to, like, is Sun Solar written like this?
Possibly.
if it is, I will have no trouble selling those books.
I'm so glad I only got a PDF.
Oh my goodness.
But
Anyway.
I love that it goes astonishment. I've always been one to ensure first sight of my arrival incites a reason to recall.
That is not a
Well
sentence.
said.
What?
There is no object to the verb. In fact, there is no subject to the verb.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the active verb is.
As you know, I'm not one to travel without purpose. Tell me beyond the odor of failure and casualties of fallen Americans embedded in Vietnam, what on earth of urgency would require my presence?
Everything.
Quick historical question, Preston. Was there an American military force in Vietnam in 1980?
No.
Yeah, I thought
Bobby doesn't know when the Vietnam War was.
that's all right. Colby doesn't know that this
Yeah.
stopped after panel 2 either.
But he also had a 1930s plan in 1980, so I mean.
Now, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
It's a comment.
Yeah.
Panel fucking
It did
5,
crash it too, so.
because this page needs 5 panels.
There you go.
There we
Science
go.
Lab, Scythe Slice, points a new character, points at 3 chambers. Each chamber has a naked human inside out of the 3 chambers.
All
The
right.
middle chamber has a man in it in the tallest chamber, who is 7 feet tall, while the remaining 2 chambers have what appears to be 2 women in them.
What it appears to be.
Yeah.
So we're not
I don't know,
entirely
we can't-
sure.
We can't see the lower half, so we're not
The
exactly
remaining
sure.
2 chambers have Thai ladyboys in them.
Yeah, there you go.
The naked
Why not?
people in the chambers are silhouettes. Warcuff is in shock, period.
Behold, my lord, these shall bear the victory denied during the war lost. What? Okay.
But they won.
Yeah.
Page 2.
Go.
Panel 1. The chambers shatter. Break as the liquid from the chambers empty, as Warcuff and Sison watch in shock as those once within the chambers are revealed. No additional screen direction.
We don't need
Panel 2. Warcuff and Sison stare at now on their knees. The 3 that were in the chambers, both women, Windsky and Shardist, then Reich Supreme.
Stalin. Ubermensch.
Panel 3. Harlem, New York. Just a ghostly bar.
We just changed. We went around the world in the middle of halfway through one page.
Yeah. Just Justice seated on the bar stool as he smokes a cigar with a beer in hand. His left hand around Howling Hawk's shoulder, who is seated as a ghost bartender behind the bar. Seated? Anyways, prepares more drinks. Harlem, New York, just a ghostly bar. Just Justice is seated on the bar stool as he smokes a cigar with a beer in hand. His left hand around Howling Hawk should, who is also seated as a ghost bartender behind the bar, pours more wine into Gatsby's glass.
Oh, no.
1980, Harlem, New York. Also, for fuck's sake.
All right, John, why don't you be Howling Hawk?
Heart of my soul, a reason to follow a path of bloodshed blows, as though a lifeless wind draws near.
Sweet flower of mine, we've seen our fair share of death as years past became hundreds. The world turned. Know that if they step to harm, they will be gone with said wind.
That's deep.
Panel 4. Gatsby. What? Sure. I'm just like, Gatsby faces Just Justice as he stirs his glass of wine, because that's the thing people do with glasses of wine.
Yeah, like, what? Shaken, not stirred.
All right, Larry.
Sure. JJ, you have a swell just spot on perfection with this ghost serving drinks situation.
You've been here for a while, Gats. What's on your mind besides freeloading?
Usually I'd have a comeback for such foul language. What? But I'd rather not spoil this fine wine with such talk.
That was wait. Which of those words was foul language?
That's what I was like. What? Okay. Yeah.
Freeloading, maybe?
I guess. Yeah.
I mean, this is set in New York. There could be foul language. Anyways,
Oh, my
page
goodness.
3, panel 1. Santos, another new character, unlit cigar in mouth, muscle build Santa Claus, full beard and mustache, wearing a trench coat, sleeveless left arm, Santa Claus color pattern wool collar, Christmas sweater, a Christmas tree eye patch on his left eye.
Does everybody have eye patches?
Santos is the good bare arm Nazi Stalin.
There we go.
He's got like the left arm thing and the same eye patch thing going on. It's like poetry, John.
It rhymes.
Symmetry.
Yeah. He kicks the door wide open.
Skipping the chimney to say hello.
Panel 2. Santos stands on the door he kicked open. Beside him, Red Rudolph, basically Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, still a young reindeer, small antlers stand on 2 feet, wearing a butler uniform, though no pants, has his hands up. Just Justice aims his shotgun to as Howling Hawk stands behind him.
Oh man, I hope Rudolph survives this encounter.
I hope
I don't want to see Rudolph blown away with a shotgun.
I do. In America, can you walk into a bar with a shotgun? Is that legal usually?
No. Usually firearms are prohibited in drinking.
Even in the 1980s?
Yeah.
I mean, like, look, you don't want people drunk with firearms. It doesn't go well.
I mean, I don't want people drunk with firearms, but I'm not American.
Exactly. Who's Santos?
I don't. He's a new character.
Same, just greeting an old friend armed and ready to fire. Larry.
That's how he greets his friends. Can't imagine how he treats his enemies.
What you just Justice?
I don't remember. You want me to do it?
Sure, yeah. In this conversation, yes, I think it works better.
Friends don't just bust through your door, Santos.
Friends, you owe a favor due.
Continuity note, I'm pretty sure Just Justice doesn't own this bar. He was literally just commenting on that. So you got to fix that, buddy.
There you go.
Yeah. Panel 3. Santos seated on the bar stool with a jug of beer in hand. Okay. Wasn't he stirring some wine before?
No,
Well,
Gatsby's
yeah,
stirring wine.
I don't even know where he went. So.
As he makes a toast with Just Justice, who has a bottle of rum in hand, while Howling Hawk, who pets the top of Red Rudolph's head. The ghost bartender pours more wine in Gatsby's glass.
Oh, there he is. Okay.
So the bartender's a ghost.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Yes.
Oh yeah. No,
That-
Shining, but nonsense. So.
Someone has to draw this. Poor Elizabeth.
Yeah, I know. Like,
Cheers, Santos. But what brings you here? You're not the one to make house checks.
Oh.
Whoever.
Warcuff Stalin.
I'm now realizing that someone is going to have to read this dialogue on an actual physical page, too.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see how bad that is when I get my copy of Sans Solar.
There we go.
Yeah,
There were some
right.
times that the words in the balloon didn't quite match.
I mean, there are so many words and so many exclamation points. All the punctuation.
I just consider it part of the charm. You know?
Yep.
It is definitely part of the charm. It is unquestionably part of the charm. Panel 4, close-up of Just Justice's hand as he breaks the rum bottle. Page 4, panel 1, 1980.
Oh.
Sunny morning Vietnam, Nazi military war room.
Oh yeah.
It's a sunny day.
This doesn't belong. Warcuff Stalin points towards a painting of Adolf Hitler as Reich Supreme, who's in costume, stares with amazement.
Your father, who gave his life the Führer, shall you fulfill your design, Ubermensch?
Why is that
What?
hyphenated? Why is fulfill hyphenated?
I don't know.
It's going to be like that on the page, I swear to God.
Yeah. All right.
Panel 2, Reich Supreme performs the Nazi salute as Warcuff claps.
Born to serve the will of my father, I shall never falter, even as I fall inhaling my last breath.
Breathe.
Breathe.
To
By
honor
the way,
the,
the script is written, or else it's
I
way
know.
less fun.
to honor the Führer, you shall, from this moment forth, be known as Reich Supreme.
Cool.
Panel
Thanks.
3. Inside a large military carrier deploy aircraft plane hangar, Santos with lit cigar in mouth as he stands in a position of giving orders. Beside him on his left, Red Rudolph.
crap.
On his right, Freedom Made in America. Who is surrounded by Just Justice? Who is surrounded by Just Justice? Who has his hand around Howland Hawk? Who has a terror bird beside her? Patriot, Miss Victory, Ninja America, and Shade Knight.
Ninja America. Oh god.
Our drop point will be give or take a few miles away from their trash hole of a NAM base. This won't be no stroll of a mission. We have none other than Warcuff Stalin himself involved.
Wait, Santa Claus says that?
Yeah.
Maybe he's the leader of this super team.
I think he is. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Why
sure.
does he sound like Donald Trump then?
Yeah. Oh, I want him drawing this Donald Trump now. That would be amazing.
That would
Trump,
be
like
Yeah.
Trump Santa, I think.
Yeah. I mean, come on, let's go for it.
I'm gonna drop it on that trash hole of a basic bunch of. We have the best team with the best members, and we got.
Someone will definitely buy that.
All right, Just Justice.
When I get my hands around his neck, he'll wish he stayed deceased far sooner than later.
John.
JJ
always eager to lay down the wrath.
You know me, sis. Duty calls, and my knuckles crack at the chance to knock out issues.
Page 5.
Oh, it's a
Panel
splash
4.
page. What?
I don't.
I mean, that's good because panel 3 was also should have been a splash page.
Oh my
God. They have all leaped towards the ground below from the aircraft hangar opening. Howling Hawk rides her terror bird with weapons in hand, as Just Justice flies beside her, his legs missing as they are like a ghost tail shape. While Santos rides a sleigh made of the verb, made of snow. Shade Knight Dark rides a black zebra with red stripes. As they fall standing on a large shield projected by Star Patroit, who stands seated on the shield edge as they talk among one another, Miss Victory and Freedom Made on America Ninja America, now unhyphenated, stands beside Star Patriot, back to back, 4 inches apart, with one of his swords drawn.
Wow.
As
Ah.
nothing. Okay.
Nothing pumps me up more than making an ass-kicking entrance.
Just
Now,
to-
can you read that in bold with 3 exclamation points?
There you go.
Yeah.
Just avoid making a scene if the entrance is far more action-packed than the mission.
Why do you curse the moment?
Why?
Page
Uh.
6. Number 1. Viet Cong camp. In 1980? Whatever.
Sure.
Soldiers look above as snow falls from the sky in shock. Okay. Some with their hands up in disbelief. Viet Cong base. Yeah. Fucking snow?
Wow.
The thing they don't believe is snow? In this story? The thing they don't believe is snow?
Magical sky
it's not often that snow falls in Vietnam,
I know. Yeah.
so that's why they're probably not believing.
Okay.
But-
Here's something
but
slightly
Santa-
less believable. Panel
but-
2.
Yeah, so
Okay.
Santa is bringing snow to Vietnam.
He's bringing Christmas back.
From above on the snow, slay the verb. Santa fires a Gatling gun made of snow at the Viet Cong soldiers below.
The story has its charm.
AK-47s and or shot by snowballs from the Gatling gun. Also, Red Rudolph can be seen as he leaps off the slay verb towards the men below. Panel 3. Viet Cong have Red Rudolph surrounded as many continue to fire at the sleigh above.
I drop down to introduce myself as a polite guest. Should you and all greet me armed instead with open arms?
Did you say guest or guess?
Guess.
Guest was written.
Guess.
Yes.
As a polite guest.
A very polite guest. Page
no.
7. Panel 1. Red Rudolph blasts a red beam from his nose while he spins, which causes the Viet Cong soldiers to fly off from the impact. Panel 2. Multiple Viet Cong soldiers ride towards Red Rudolph as they fire Gatling guns attached to their pickup trucks.
What?
Panel 3. A close-up of Howling Hawk's tomahawk as it breaks through the windshield of a vehicle towards the head of the Viet Cong driving.
Oh.
Oh,
was
minor
really
note:
helpful.
if it has an electronic motor, it's not a Gatling gun.
Yeah.
Correct.
That's the main difference between a Gatling gun and a.
Cannon. Or minigun.
Minigun, yeah. Oh
Page
well.
3. Panel 1. Howling Hawk leaps towards the Viet Cong, driving and firing at her as she rides the terror bird.
You've drawn your last breath.
See? Reading out the bad spelling really makes it better. Panel 2.
Oh no.
Howling Hawk can be seen
Yeah.
as she rides a terror bird that shouts with a high sonic voice, destroys the soldiers on the vehicles. As Shade Knight Dark rides on the zebra as he shoots his revolvers at the men and vehicles beside him as he walks smoking a cigar, just justice.
What?
I gotta say, like Cyborg Molby, because I'm sure like AI was involved in.
Yeah.
It's a little better. I mean, it is. You know, it's a little better grammar.
Is it? I feel like an AI, which, apparently those things can spell.
Yeah.
I've heard that their outputs are, reasonable facsimiles to some degree of human writing. I mean, this isn't. So I don't think this is an AI Molby.
No, this is not very different from when he first presented these pages.
Okay. Good. Well, in that case, Molby has done a decent job of taking out a lot of the ises, and he's still got a fair number of passes. But hey, he's kind of cut down.
Molby has
on
probably done an excellent job of cutting away passive language.
Yeah.
I will not read the previous draft to find out.
You're awfully calm as your lady's surrounded by gunfire, JJ.
Yeah.
You know me, not the jealous type. Besides, she has more than a sweet smile. She makes clicking ass look like a sport.
What?
That she does.
Panel 3, Just Justice punches pickup truck so hard it causes the parts to fly off. The soldiers who ride it to fly right out of the windshield. As I don't think that should have been an infinitive, but okay. As he holds off one vehicle with the other hand as they fire at him.
Wow. It's a big panel.
Panel 4, small panel, so of course this is the one with dialogue in it. Dark background speed lines, a side view of Stalin from his nose to chin as he speaks.
Just justice, come before me, coward.
That's good. Yeah.
Page 9, panel 1, Just Justice flies away in ghost mode, so he has a ghost tail instead of feet. As Shade Knight Dark looks up at him, surrounded by vehicles and flames. Upside down, destroyed soldiers on the ground.
The soldiers are upside down and destroyed?
I don't fucking know. I didn't write this. You read my writing. Would I write this? I mean, there's a lot that I could get from this, but I'm much better at writing parsable copy.
Oh God.
Larry.
Shade Knight Dark or Just Justice.
All right, I'll work off.
Okay. If the shooting here ain't had him fired up, whatever does, wherever he's going, they ain't got along amongst the living.
That's easy for you to say.
Whoa.
Panel 2, multi-action panel.
Yes.
So what the fuck were the other panels of this?
All right.
Just Justice in ghost form jumps into a Viet Cong soldier body to possess him, who has his back turned as he stares at the edge of a frozen pond.
Okay.
See? They shouldn't have been so afraid of snow. That's what I was saying. Panel 3, trapped in the body of the Viet Cong soldier Just Justice chose to possess. The possessed Viet Cong soldier is on his knees, with a device attached to his chest. Warcuff Stalin stands in front of him.
Work off! I know, just given time, Just Justice Coward Dog would return to produce another moment of failure. Try as you might to escape, coward, to no avail, for that body is equipped with the means to exist in a state between life and death. You shall remain contained until I relieve the moment of decapitating your comrades once more.
You okay?
Okay.
Panel 4. From behind, a close-up of Reich Supreme's palm over the head of the Viet Cong possessed, as you can see his face as he screams, as it freezes due to Reich Supreme dropping his body temperature.
There you go.
Here's a note, Molby.
Oh, God.
Stop using the word as.
Yeah.
Just never do that. Ever. Or indeed, any pronouns in the art direction. For example, you. You should not appear in the art direction. It is difficult for your illustrator to draw you.
Yeah.
Anyways, panel 5. Reich Supreme's stands behind the frozen solid Viet Cong soldier possessed by JJ as Stalin claps.
Oh, how I craved your sustained suffering as a man hanging, pecked by crows during a winter storm. Well, as you know, now you know I can't keep to my desires.
Yes.
Yes. I need Sunsight to go.
And he just trails off. 'Cause I mean, there was actually no point to that.
Oh, goodness.
Page 10, panel 1, Vietnam jungle surrounded by trees. I remember this line. Dude, the trees are in the jungle by definition.
There you go.
For fuck's sake. Ninja America leans on a tree as he sharpens his sword. As ahead of him, Miss Victory looks ahead with a radar in hand. As Star Patriot and Freedom Maiden, America follows.
They're having the time of their lives being decoys while we're out here doing what again?
That's what I'd like to know.
Honoring their courage to stick to the plan by finding the main base of the enemy, I tried to tell you when we leaped off. When will you learn not every mission that matters needs to be guns blazing?
You just had to curse and end my fun with your Mr. Mission fact act. First act. I'm bored. Craving a shotgun to my skull is county.
Yeah, go ahead, Larry.
Okay, sure. If you two just please silence, I won't find that base any sooner with all of your back and forth talk. Oh goodness.
Panel 2. All armed with guns and machetes, the Viet Cong soldiers leap out from underground hiding as they have Ninja America, who has his swords out. Miss Victory appears shot. Star Patriot has his gun and shield drawn, and Freedom Maiden America surrounded.
Oh, God, yes.
That's not the line I expected.
Well, he's been itching to kill somebody, and now he's got somebody to kill.
Okay. So he's having an orgasm? Like, yeah.
Oh, maybe he is. Maybe killing people gets him off.
Lock and loaded, shield ready.
I mean, he is an American ninja. And what do Americans love more than that, right?
Yeah.
God,
literally nothing. You got a good point, John.
God, you're only the bloody. You're God. You're the only bloodthirsty deity I can count on to bless me with violence. Thank you, Lord.
Oh my God.
Panel 3.
I gotta say, by the way, John, you were telling me that Molby has been somewhat receptive to the idea of collabing with you.
No, not really.
No.
No.
I was looking forward to the Molby Lamont script. I thought that would be
you know, something.
I had discussed with him before about collabing with me on my crossover.
Okay.
But we could not come to an agreement.
All right. Now that happens.
Yeah. So I would love to work with him. I think he is a creative comedic genius. But
well, you know, it happens, you know. It takes a while for people to get comfortable enough.
Sure.
That's fine. I mean, I did offer him 10% of the Kickstarter.
That's fair, yeah.
Panel 3. Star Patriot leaps upwards towards Nazi ninjas.
Now we have Nazi ninjas?
Now we have
the
Nazi
best kind of ninjas.
Strictly speaking, they'd be the worst kind of ninjas, because Nazis are inherently evil. As they stand on trees, as they toss stars with Nazi symbols in the middle of it, as below him. Sorry, now every time I see the word "as," I just want to punch someone.
So while you're
shoots a Nazi Kong straight in the chest. Mai's victory.
I mean, Viet Cong wasn't bad enough. Now they're Nazi Kongs.
2 Viet Cong soldiers. Freedom Maiden America poses as Viet Cong shoots at her with the bullets bouncing off. This is like a
Yeah.
bad version of like a scene from that Frank Miller thing that was that movie.
Yeah, I was going to mention that because they used swastika throwing stars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a better project. That
This-
one make you feel like a crazy person.
This is blessing. This is a blessing. Remind me to have you tested in the vet to see if you're a rabbit.
Sure thing. Just remember to have some class. Put me down in a mansion, not a barn like old Yeller.
I'll just dig a ditch for an unmarked grave. All right. So
I will, for just
What?
reference's sake. It was spelled Yeller in the TV show, not like the color.
yeah.
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 All right. So stuff happened. We had a lot of action. We introduced a whole bunch of characters, and they fought.
Yes.
And in a way that certainly had some comedic moments.
Uh-huh.
I think Moby was definitely going for like over the top action when we have Santa Claus coming in, firing a Gatling gun as he's dropping snow on Viet Cong Nazis. I think. I mean, what can you say? It's certainly creative.
Yes.
And it's very actiony.
Mhm.
And it's entertaining. So, there you go.
I mean, as always, I envy Mulby's ability to pull balls to the wall action out of any possible scene.
Yeah.
It's actually quite impressive, and he's really very good at it.
Yeah.
All right, John, what do you think?
No, I agree with Danny. Like, I really do envy that talent Mulby has. I wish I could do that.
And Larry.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, it was something. There are a lot of characters. There are a lot of characters. He's got a lot of creative designs and stuff like that. So that's all good. Yeah.
All right. I mean, constructive. I mean, I feel like Mulby's making some strides. He's continuing the direction of editing, and working on the grammar. And I know he finds that a drag, but it's got to be done.
Yeah.
He's got to clean it up. In terms of the characters, I want a little bit more introduction. I mean, the characters are all pretty outlandish, and I know exposition seems a little boring, but still, like, I mean, I don't know who a lot of these characters are. I mean, outside of just like kind of crazy caricatures of Made in America and stuff like. So I would like, I guess, a bit more exposition. Which I know, like you probably say, like I'll slow down the action, but a little bit more exposition about who they are and why is the Nazis working with the Vietnamese in the 1980s? More tough Stalin. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
I'd kind of like to know a little bit more now.
So
I kind of have I have a different take. I
Go ahead.
Oh.
Well, this is the same comment that I made before, and I'm going to say it again.
Right.
The main issue I have is that there's too many characters.
Yeah, I have the same problem. So.
Yeah.
There is just way too many people to follow in what's going on. It's like all of a sudden trying to watch, like Avengers 3 and not knowing and not having seen any of the movies up to it.
Right.
Like, imagine just watching that movie and everything going on and never knowing a thing that happened before. You're not going to be able to follow it and know what's going on. And that's
so it's like watching Sucker Punch.
Basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, reading this feels like watching Sucker Punch.
So it just there's too much going on. We don't know who these characters are. We don't have any connection to any of these characters. We don't know what they want. We don't understand their powers. Like, how is this JJ guy turn into a ghost, possess somebody, and then get trapped into this body? Like, I don't understand any of their abilities to know that this is even an issue. Like, why did he possess that guy in the first place? how did he get trapped? Like, how did Warcuff Stalin know how to trap him? Like
I
did
mean,
he draw him into
Yeah.
that person? Like, there's just so many things going
that
on,
was like
and
2
so many
panels
questions.
though, right? Like there, that was so tight. There's no way to give any of that information. That was like, first he
That's
does a
my
thing,
point,
and then
because
suddenly
we have
is unfucking drawable.
we have so much going on by so many people. We don't really know anything about any of them, or what anything is, what's really going on, and that's where I think is going to be just kind of I think he would
agree.
do well with starting out with like 3 or 4 characters and focusing on them, you know,
Yeah.
just, and then build it up from there. Like, this is only issue 1. You know?
It feels like
It's
issue
first-
50. You know, it's
I
like,
know, that's my whole point. It's my whole point. It's like walking into Avengers 3 and not having seen the last 2 dozen movies that came out before it. It's literally like that.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
So
Actually, it's not even like that. It's like jumping into like the mid climax of the movie or something like that, and being like, yeah, "What the hell?" It's like the Thanos battle at the end of Endgame, or Endgame. So if you just walk into that part where all the characters are coming out and fighting him, you're like, "Oh, this is interesting, but what the hell is going on?" So that's exactly what it's like, you know.
Yeah.
So
And I think you'd just do better to have less characters, introduce them more slowly, let us get to know them,
yeah,
and then bring them all together.
I know he's dead set on just throwing people in the middle of things and not explaining anything and having like 8 pages of just action right at the beginning, but I don't think it works.
It's not necessarily a bad thing to do, but I think he's just has too much going on. There's too many people, and it's difficult to follow them. Like, we don't need all of these people. We can have 4 or 5 do this crazy, insane action scene, and then take a breath afterward and kind of catch the audience up on what's going on. You can do that, and you can do it well, but not with this number of characters.
Yeah, it's a bit much.
I'm trying to think of a story.
And I know Preston likes to have his characters in other stories, but Gatsby is like completely useless in this story. He's just there, you know.
He's drinking wine.
He's drinking wine in the bar, but you know.
What's up, old chap?
Yeah.
So yeah, I was gonna say, like, it's clear that some editing got done because there was that panel 5 that was suddenly a splash page.
Yeah.
So
and he did take my note about Red Rudolph's nose being a weapon.
Laser. Yeah.
Yeah. I believe that was my note when he brought it the first time. So I mean, it was kind of cool to see that. But
yeah,
I don't remember any other notes, and frankly, it's so hard to tell with any of Mulvey's work if anything changed. And there was that like one action art description line that was clearly edited somehow because it showed up twice.
Yeah.
So way to go! You did sub editing.
Yeah.
I actually disagree with Preston about. So Preston was saying that he wants more exposition as to how things happened. I think the exposition that Mulvey has produced for this is the most boring part of it. That entire scene bar was a complete waste of time up until Santa Claus showed up. The entire scene where like Stalin is doing anything talking about his plot made no sense, and those characters didn't show up. Right. Frankly, it didn't really matter where they came from because everyone else just shows up. You just pull characters out of your ass anyways. You don't need to introduce. Why are you introducing that one character and nobody else? Screw that. Like, give us the action. Like, cut from he shows up, the Viet Cong are there, they're like, yo, buddy. And then suddenly the good guys show up and start wrecking shit. That's a perfectly fine intro. And then you can have exposition after the action scene. So I actually thought that stuff was real boring and broke it up. Obviously, the dialogue was clearly not written by a human being who speaks any language.
Or speaks like a human being.
Yeah, like, Molby, you're a human being. You're not great at speaking out loud, but I know you're better than that.
Yeah.
I don't
So
know.
Well, I feel like Moldy could certainly benefit by saying each line out loud to himself. And
Like,
then
with his voice and not just in his head.
Well,
Yeah.
I honestly kind of think he uses text to speech a lot, or speech
Yes.
to text. Yeah. So
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, undoubtedly so, but I mean,
yeah.
it needs editing. AI is not going to help you when you're this bad, man. The AI is going to like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
It's gonna go like, what is this? Isn't it like?
Weirdly,
Error.
Wait, you know what? I want to write one of those Star Trek scripts because I remember back in like the original series when
Yes.
Captain Kirk encountered a few AIs in like
Yes.
the original series, and he would always like mind mojo them and cause like smoke to come out. And like I want to write a script where like Molby and the AI.
Can you imagine training an AI on these?
we fed an AI 1,000 pages of a movie script.
I do have a suggestion for Molby that he's going to
was,
totally ignore because I'm sure he doesn't watch these.
Probably.
Especially when we're talking about his work. And Molby, you should stop writing comic scripts and you should rewrite this as though it were a screenplay. It'll be better.
Yeah.
Huh.
Your art direction will suck a lot less. You'll actually have to write action that happens, and your characters might actually explain what the hell's going on instead of just quipping with each other as though we've met them. So I think Molby is trying too hard to do comics, and switching the format a little bit into a screenplay is actually going to make him a better writer.
Okay.
Oh, so I also as we were talking, so Mystery Men, comic book movie, bunch of superheroes that we've never heard of before, and the opening is very much like this. It's a crazy madcap, everything goes insane for like the first 10 minutes, and then it's after after that's over, then it kind of slows down and they explain things. But even in that case, there's still only 4 or 5 characters that we're actually following in that entire sequence.
Yeah, there's
so
like
I think that's
10 characters, major characters get introduced in this.
like 15.
Yeah, like it's totally nuts.
Yeah. That's why I was
great because he can do that. But I mean, if you
that's why I was saying that's why I was saying like you can start off with balls to the walls action. And which is what Molby wants to do. That's what you want to do. You want to start with the balls to the walls action, which is fine. You can totally pull that off. And then after that initial action scene is over, slow things down and start to explain what's going on. But you can't with this many characters. And that's why I would look at Mystery Men worked doing that, where we had a bunch of characters that had abilities that we had no idea what abilities they had. We don't know these characters. And it was balls to the walls action for the first 10 minutes or so. And then it slows down and we kind of figure out who all the characters are afterward. So that would be something I would take a look at as an example. But again, there was only 5 characters in that we were following.
No, I'm with you. More like Mystery Men, less like Sucker Punch.
There you go.
Yeah, no, like, as always, Molby continues to, I mean, I don't think any of this is new, but the action and all that is really great.
Yeah.
It's too bad it's totally incomprehensible.
Yep. But, making progress.
Well,
all right. Yes, I mean.
Well, we tried anyway.
Well, moving on. Those were the 2 comic book scripts.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to next week. See what happens. And Molby's not here, so I guess we'll just have to ask what he thought of our notes later on. And sign off here.
Alrighty.
Night, everybody.
Yeah.
All right.